Today, other interesting business news: you have Ford to decrease their EV truck production yet again. Fascinating. It's almost as if people want a truck that could tow something or that could work in winter. Strange. And again, perhaps as the wise man once said, there's a use case for darn near everything. If you're a sports balls player in Chicago and you're only driving 12 feet at a time and you're not hauling anything ever, maybe this is the perfect vehicle for you. But for many use cases, for people who actually use their truck for construction, for moving, for driving more than 18 feet, I think the other options are better. The people who actually want a truck to last a long time and not be sitting unable to move because it needs a software update or because it's been recalled or because it burst into flames. They're basically choosing the other options. Now, this comes to us thanks to a writer over on LinkedIn by the name of Emma Thorne specifically, and she noted that quote, Ford is coming back on the number of workers making the F-150 Lightning truck. The company said as demand for the EV vehicles slows, about 1,400 employees will be moved into other roles or otherwise affected by beginning April 1st. I was going to say, is that a joke in and of itself that they're still making it? Maybe. Now, they say the Michigan-based automaker said it expects EV sales to continue to grow, though not as much as expected. It's already halved its 2024 production goals for the F-150 Lightning. Talk about lowering the bar. Their expectations are half of what they were sold. And again, when it comes to darn near every new product, there are early adopters who will pay a premium. That's why you saw someone who was perhaps inebriated by drinking Bud Light. They paid over $100,000 over MSRP to get one of the first F-150 Lightnings. There will always be people who will pay more to get the first of a product, or the people who want to be one of the first to have it. They want to try something out. But the issue is, how do you sell it to the masses? That's where you need to either, traditionally, you will lower the price point, come up, or even sometimes come up with a new product or new technology to make it more adaptable. That's how Tesla succeeded. They came out with what was it? Not the Model S. They came out with the one that was a bastardized Lotus Elise, where they took Lotus Elise, put their technology inside of it. Ironically, I think Elon said it actually cost them more than just making a vehicle from the ground up to try to retrofit it. But nevertheless, they came out with that vehicle. It was a not fiscal success because, again, it took them a long time to make a profit. But in that case, they found the early adopters, they found the enthusiasts who bought first, showing that the sale is theoretical. It has happened. They're getting there. And then they came out with the much more successful, I believe, is the Model S with the four doors. They had more capabilities, and it was built up from the ground up. Now, I'm not sure how they're going to do it in regard to, again, this is a truck, it's a highly competitive category. The article also noted that demand for electric vehicles in the U.S. has softened as consumers worry about high prices and lack of charging stations. True, as well as taxes. Because one of the biggest sources of revenue for states and the federal, well, not the biggest, a significant contributor to the taxes on the federal and state levels is the gasoline tax, where there's a gas on every gallon of gasoline you purchase. Money goes to the state government as well as the federal government. A lot of states are starting to realize, wait a minute, EVs don't have that. So many states, again, the fascinating thing about the United States is every state is a little bit different. Some are better than others, obviously. A little bit biased, but Texas is awesome. But it's one of those things where some of them are going to have a exponentially increase in the registration. So that way, let's say it costs $75 to register your internal combustion engine vehicle to use it for the year, which is ridiculous in and of itself to think you have to pay for that. But nevertheless, if you have a registration for an EV, maybe it'll cost $400 or $500. Because again, the state's not getting that revenue to make the disposable roads through the gasoline tax that the person would normally purchase. So you also have places that are also increasing the rates of electrical utilities. So it's one of those things where in the beginning there were some financial benefits in addition to the federal tax subsidies that they're throwing at people or the tax credits. But there's a lot of those costs are going to be increasing throughout the years. So that, especially when you consider it's a disposable product, it's certainly not a viable for your paycheck, or it's not a good thing for your pocketbook overall. So all these contributing factors, and again, the factor that there are also other EV truck companies. The Cybertruck will come out allegedly someday. Apparently, some deliveries have been coming through. Again, there's a lot of issues with that. We'll see when they really start to pump out that. In 2024, they sold so few it didn't even show up on sales reports and articles. So maybe Q1 this year we'll see it, but realistically, I think a lot of the sales are going to Rivian. that is probably the best well-known EV truck manufacturer, and I guess they make an SUV as well now, actually. But in terms of, truck buyers are the hardest people to sell to in general, but because again, there's that cult following. A lot of people buy the same model that the grandpa had. I mean, it's a huge emotional connection. And again, people that buy a truck, they want it to last a while. They don't want something that's disposable. So that's why I think overall, I think you're going to see a lot people who actually use their truck. And again, not everyone uses their truck. There's a lot of people who just they like having the option. So I want to say the market is saturated because there will always be someone who buy it. But the adoption rate is decreasing, and perhaps this will be an overall business blunder. But actually, I think it is good that Ford is making this decision to scale back on it, and hopefully they'll focus on more profitable products or ideas and make the shareholders, employees, and consumers happy. Perhaps increase some of the resources into the quality department as they've had many recalls in 2023. But as I always say, time shall tell. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of January, so if you click that button, I greatly appreciate it. Also, leaving a thumbs up or a thumbs down and comment is a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.